never had a girl like you. When we locked eyes, when you passed, couldn't look away.
Hey, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I just wanted to come and do a really quick video because I know that the new year is coming and it's fastly approaching, or quickly approaching. And I know that people are trying to figure out what their sinking funds are going to be and how much they should put towards their sinking funds each pay period, and how much do you even need to save. So what do you save for? So I just wanted to come and show you guys how I budget for the new year, and how I figure out my sinking funds and how much I'm putting towards them. So this is another sheet from my budget book. It's gonna be a while, guys. It's gonna be a while, but I'm working on it. I have been really working on it very hard. And it looks wordy, but it's because I want to make sure everything is very clear, and make sure that there's no misunderstandings when it comes to doing this math. So when it comes to sinking funds, some of your sinking funds, you just need to have money in there. So car, right? It's not like a set goal or a set amount that you need to have towards your car maintenance envelope. We know that our cars are going to need maintenance. It's inevitable that your car breaks down one day, or that you need new tires or new windshield wipers, or that little dirty filter that they always want to get you to replace when you go and get your oil changed. But there's no real set date, like, oh, I need $3,000 in my car maintenance envelope by November. That's not necessarily, realistic. But there are events and certain things that we pay for that do require us to save up by a certain amount of money by a certain amount of time. For example, if you have a friend's wedding coming up, you want to have a goal amount by the time that you know the wedding is coming up, so that you can have enough money to give them as a gift, or pay towards travel, or pay towards any bridesmaids or groomsmen obligations. Christmas, we know Christmas is coming up. You know how much you usually spend or how much you want to spend for Christmas. So you have a goal amount of Christmas, and then you have a goal set time for when you want that money to be saved by. So I'm going to go through some of these specific events that we should be saving in a certain amount by a certain time. If you know that your paycheck is like salary or set in stone, then it's easier to calculate. If your salary is not set in stone, or if it's like commission based, or if it's up and down, my suggestion would just be to calculate the bare minimum, like the lowest amount that you make. So if you make a minimum amount plus commission based, just budget off of the minimum amount. Any commission that you get would be extra payments towards those sinking funds. Excuse my voice, guys. I am getting over a cold. Everybody is probably getting over a cold right now, but I'm almost there. So just excuse my voice, guys. So for wedding, this is just an example. For wedding, I don't really have a wedding coming up next year, but for November, I know that I get paid twice a month, or I'll say bi-weekly. Every year, it's 26 paychecks in a year. If I want to give $100 for a wedding gift, and the goal month is by November, if I know that the wedding is in November, and I want to give $100 as a wedding gift, I need to calculate how many paychecks I'm going to have before November 1st, because the goal month is November, but I'm using it as the first of that month. So I need to know how many paychecks I'm going to have from January 1st to the end of October. So I know that there are 22 paychecks for me between January 1st and October 31st. So all I have to do is take the $100 and divide it into 22 paychecks. That means I would have to save $4.50 for each pay period. And if I save $4.50 on each of my paychecks, by November 1st, I'll have $100. For Christmas, I know that there are going to be 24 paychecks by the time I get to December 1st. So from January 1st to November 30th, I will have 24 paychecks. So if I take $1,000, because that's how much money I want to spend for Christmas, if I take $1,000 and I divide it by 24, that means I need to save roughly $41.67, or I need to save, $41.67 each pay period so that I can have $1,000. Okay? For vacation, I'm planning to take a vacation for my birthday, which is July 13th. So I want to be able to have $3,000 before July 1st even rolls around. So I have from January 1st to from January 1st to June 30th to save $3,000. I know that there are going to be 13 pay periods before I reach July 1st. So that tells me I need to divide $3,000 by 13 paychecks. And that means I need to save $230 and roughly 77 cents for each pay period. So I would probably try to do 235 just to be on the safe side. So if I save $235 each pay period or each paycheck up from January 1st to June 30th, I should have a little over $3,000. Next is car insurance. So my car insurance is about $900, but I pay it every 6 months instead of every 12 months. So that means I need to have $900 before June 1st because my payment will be due around June 1st. So that means I want to save from January 1st to May 31st. That means I have 11 paychecks that I will be getting in that time frame. So I'll take $900, divide that by 11 paychecks, and that'll be roughly $81.82. So I would save about $82 to $85 each pay period so that I can have that full amount to put towards my car insurance. Next is Amazon Prime. It doesn't have to just be for events. It can also be for those annual bills or biannual bills or fees that we have to pay for, that we don't necessarily put into our budgets for our expenses each month. So car insurance is an expense, but I don't pay it each month. I pay it every 6 months. Amazon Prime is a subscription. I don't pay it each month. You can, but you'll spend more money paying it each month. You save money by paying it annually. Companies prefer that because they get their money up front, they get it out the way, and they don't have to constantly keep charging you for transaction fees for charging you each month. So Amazon Prime, I want that payment is going to be due probably mid-November. So just to be on the safe side, I want to have that full amount before I get to November, so by the end of October. So I know here, before I get to November, I have 22 paychecks that I'll receive. So that tells me that I will have, that tells me I'll have 22 paychecks that I'll get between January 1st to October 31st. And I have $150 that I need to save for that annual fee. So I'll take $150 and divide it by 22. And that'll put me at $6.82. So I'll save roughly about $7 to $10 just so I can have a little extra just in case Amazon Prime decides to increase their annual subscription fee, which is most likely bound to happen since inflation is pretty much promised at this point. Taxes. Now, I know that taxes come every year, We typically do our taxes between January to February-ish. If I want to be on the safe side, I will try to have my taxes by the 1st of January, right? Here I put that my goal is $2,500 to pay towards taxes by January 2025. So from January 1st, 2024, all the way through December 31st, 2024, I want to have $2,500 saved up by then. I know that I get paid 26 paychecks in a year, so I'm going to put 26. So if I take $2,500 and divide it by 26 paychecks, that means I need to save $96 and roughly 16 cents each pay period. So that tells me I would probably save about $100 each pay period or each paycheck. So then once I have all these figures done, then I will go through and see if this is possible to save for each pay period. Mind you, I do have to count my monthly expenses. I do have to count my daily cash envelopes, like my gas, my groceries, and everything like that. So I will budget for that first because I have to buy groceries. I have to spend money on gas. I don't have to eat out. I don't have to get my nails done. So those two would be where I would be able to kind of determine how if I could put a little less towards those envelopes based on these fixed amounts that I need to save for. So let's go ahead and add this up. I'm just going to round these to like the nearest dollar. So the $4.50 will be $5, $42, $2.31, $82, $7.97. So that puts me at $464 that I need to save towards these specific sinking funds. Mind you, you still have to maybe save money for your pet because you have to buy food. You have to maybe have some money for an emergency fund. Maybe have money for the groomers. You need to have money for car maintenance. You maybe want to have money towards household or towards giving gifts, but those aren't like a requirement. My car insurance is a requirement. My car registration is a requirement. Taxes, definitely a requirement, not a suggestion. Wedding, Christmas, those are things that you want to do that you know are coming up that you can participate in. If you don't have the money to do that, then maybe you would decrease your Christmas budget. Maybe you won't go to the wedding and just send a gift. But those are things that you can determine if they are more flexible or if they are more restrictive. Taxes, car insurance, car registration, more restrictive versus Christmas, vacation, wedding. Those are more flexible. If you have this frame and you say, I'm going to spend $464 each paycheck, and I'm going to put that towards these sinking funds so I can save up this amount of money, you would include that into your monthly budget sheet, which would look something like this. So then when you talk about expenses, okay, cool, right here in your sinking funds, you're going to budget $464. You can also determine your savings and investing, and if you can have any money to put towards extra debt payments and any savings challenges. Your expenses are going to be your bills. These are going to be requirements. They are not flexible unless you are able to downsize on some of your bills, like you get a smaller apartment or you get a cheaper car or you sell your car or anything like that. Then you'll be able to determine this, and then you'll see how much money you have left over, if any. I budget down to the $0. So once I'm done doing all of this budget, I have nothing left, because if I have money left, that's money I can put towards extra debt payments. But I just wanted to come and show you guys how I do my sinking funds for the next year. I also keep in mind that some things are going to be like rollover sinking funds, right? So my parents, I'm not just saving for one event with my parents. I'm saving for my dad's birthday, my mom's birthday, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas. Those are 5 holidays. So I know by March, I need this amount. By their anniversary, I need a certain amount. By Father's Day, I need a certain amount. By Christmas, I need another amount. And I do the same math for those rollover sinking funds. But if you have any questions about how I do this, or about specific amounts, or any other questions about the sinking funds and whatnot, put it down in the comments below. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Like you, no, baby. Ain't never met a girl like you.